Hey everybody, Hunter back again from Showtime Studios. Gonna start on a new, I guess you could call it just a simple tutorial really. I watched a video today from my good buddy down in Florida, Matthew Cunningham, MC Garage, and he was doing a video on how to touch up paint if you sand through your clear coat and get down into the paint. And I think somebody had asked him about, how he went about doing that. And it looks like he ran into a couple problems with, the piece that he was working on didn't quite turn out the way that I guess he thought it was going to come out. And I just wanted to kind of touch on that a little bit and maybe help Matthew out. I've run into the same thing. I've had it happen more than once. There's some do's and don'ts that you really should really pay attention to when you're not only using House of Color paints, but when you're using something with a metallic or pearl in it, and how there's, certain steps to go about fixing it when you run into a problem. And I just wanted to kind of, like I say, help the community out. Anybody that needs to know some of this information that doesn't have the experience or has run into this problem. So that's what this video is going to be about, and the video coming up after this one will be the wrap-up to it. But what we're working with is the House of Color. You can get these from TCP Global. This happens to be the Burgundy Candy from them, and this is a pre-mixed color. Now, the first thing that I will say, and hopefully everybody follows along in both videos, like I say, this is a pre-mixed color. And if you add anything like I do, like the Pearl X powders or anything like that into this paint, you're okay. If you put this paint down and then go in with an intercoat clear with any type of pearl or anything mixed in it, then you're going to run into an issue that this tutorial that I'm going to do is not going to work for you. And I run into that myself. If I happen to sand through, a lot of my finishes have an intercoat clear that has more pearl mixed in it or more metallic mixed in it, whatever the case is, what effect I'm trying to create. And it's very, very hard to match that kind of stuff. Once you cut through the finish, that's pretty much a repaint for the most part. And, for you guys that are just putting them on your own shelf and, looking to improve your paint work, you could probably get by with it. But if you're going into competition or whatever, it is going to show up, and it's just something that you cannot hide. But we're going to do it where we're going to spray some of this on a body. And like I say, this is a pre-mixed color. We're not going to add anything to it. And then we're going to shoot a clear coat over top of it. We're going to let all that dry up. And then I'm going to go in. I'm going to intentionally sand through the finish, through the clear and through the paint. And then we're going to go back in and I'm going to show you the steps on how to touch it up and have good results with it. So what we're working with is, this is actually one of the Suburban bodies, and Sandy's actually working on a weathered project. So I stole this body and we did a little bit of work on the other side of it. This is the Napa gray primer, the lacquer primer that I did a video on, and it's been sprayed straight out of the can onto this body, and I went ahead and sanded it with a piece of 3000 grit, just dry. And what we have on this side is just the test panel that I sprayed. This is the House of Color Candy, what did I say this was? Burgundy Candy. Straight out of the bottle, through the airbrush with a 0.3 needle, and this is what I come up with. And then once that dried, I sprayed it down out of the can, TS13 lacquer clear, but you could use any clear that you want to. The Tester's one coat lacquer, the urethane clears, anything like that. It's not going to change what we're going to do in this tutorial. But right now this is drying up, and I didn't get, particular about, cleaning it up real well or orange peel or anything like that. I'm not worried about that. That's not what this tutorial is going to be about. It's going to be about how to, like on this crease or whatever, and on this raised line, if you sand through it, how to go back and respray that afterwards and blend everything in. So hopefully we'll get some good information out there for everybody. And again, I don't want anybody to think that this is a bash to to Matthew from MC Garage, or me trying to be better than him or anything like that. Matthew's turned out, you know, models that have gold medals in Florida, and that's impressive. That takes a lot of talent to do that, and my hat's off to Matt. But hopefully this will not only help out Matt in the future, but also, you know, a lot of my subscribers that might want to know how to touch up House of Color paint, or, you know, any paint for that matter. If you're doing just a non-metallic finish, it's very easy to do, not real hard, but there's a few steps, you know, even with that you have to pay attention to when you're doing it. The metallics and the pearls make it a little bit harder to blend it in, but we'll show you an easy way how to do that. And that's about it for this video. So we're going to let all this dry up until we can wet sand it, and I will have the camera reset on the tripod. I'll sand through the finish intentionally, and then we'll go back in with the airbrush right here at the workbench, and we'll blend that in, and we'll shoot some clear on it, and I'll show you how the whole thing comes out. So stay tuned for that. Like always, I want to thank everybody for all the nice comments and all the support on the Little Pro Street Beetle project. It's coming along very well. We're looking like we're going to make the deadline, which is October the 28th. It has to be done. So probably about midnight on the 27th, I should be done with that project. So another update coming up on that probably later on this week, so stay tuned for that one. So like I say, we'll be back shortly after this dries up, and we'll get into the second part of the tutorial, and we'll go from there. So like always, thank you for watching. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.